Thank you for listening to the Living Zen-podcast. If you've been listening for a while and are wondering how you can take the next step in developing your own Zen practice, or how you can more formally connect with our community, please explore our online Orientation to Zen practice, which you can find on our website at zenwest.ca. If you enjoy the resources that we make available online, we would very much appreciate your support. There are a number of ways that you can help us continue to do the work we do. One of the best ways is by becoming a part of our community as an associate. Your commitment of $10 a month will ensure that offerings like the Living Zen-podcast, eZendo, and our online Orientation to Zen will continue to be available around the world to everyone with an interest in truly living Zen. To become an associate, please visit our website at zenwest.ca and click on Become an Associate. Many more Zen Talks are available for purchase on iTunes and at Amazon.com. Just search for Venerable Eshu Martin. These talks are also made available for free on our website for all of our members and associates. You may also want to download the Living Zen Podcast app, which makes downloading and listening to the podcast effortless. Thank you for your support, and thank you for listening to Living Zen. I just want to start by welcoming everybody back who was coming last year, and to welcome some new faces tonight for the first time. I hope that you all had a good holiday time. I remember the talk that I gave the last sit before the holidays. I spoke about the holiday season being an intensive time. We use this word holiday like it's a vacation, but certainly if your experience is anything like mine, I need a holiday from the holiday after the holiday. It's a time of year when all of the effort we put into investigating who we are, all of the effort we put into investigating our habits and our fixations and our attachments, all of this work, we enter into the laboratory of family so often, and we get to see what it's like when the rubber hits the road. As I was sitting in the first period, the image or the metaphor that came up was like going to sea. And like all year in Zen practice, we have these opportunities to, through our practice, to prepare this vessel, to prepare this ship for going out on voyages through our practice. We get to see how we deal with adverse conditions, heavy winds and stormy seas, difficult relationships, uncomfortable environments. And throughout the year in the Zen Center, we have different opportunities to sort of take bigger trips, maybe. A Tuesday night is one kind of a trip. Maybe it's like a little tool around the harbor or something like that. The conditions are pretty stable. The relationships are pretty shallow for the most part. You know, these are people we see maybe Tuesday night. Maybe for some of the officers and members of the Zen Center, it's a little bit more difficult because those stubborn members that won't do their jobs. But nonetheless, it's brief. That's the one thing that we can say about it. It's a brief trip. And even in that little interaction, we see where we stick. We see where we have expectations or impose things on other people or circumstances. And in the blinking of an eye, the evening is over. and off we go home to our safe environment and to our personal practice, where we have an opportunity to reflect, to contemplate, to investigate what our interaction, what our relationships were like in that little journey on Tuesday night at the Zendo. And for members, we have a little bit longer opportunity for a journey like this. Maybe it's like a day trip. Yeah, maybe not. It's like a morning's fishing, I guess. Every Sunday, we have this opportunity to stretch ourselves out a little bit, get some wind in our sails, sit and chant, listen to a talk and have interview, do walking meditation outside. And again, we have a larger opportunity to test, to stretch out, to expand into a challenging environment that we create consciously through Zen practice. Once a month, we have an opportunity to do this all day, from before sunrise, well, at this time of year, till after sunset. People are always singing Fiddler on the Roof afterwards, but you know what I'm talking about, right? Sunrise, sunset, okay. Where was I? So we have these opportunities to do these longer and longer voyages. And even this year in the Zen Center, we're having an opportunity to do a longer one. This is the first year that we're starting to do 7-day sessions, 7-day residential intensives on Saturna Island. And so from 4 o'clock in the morning until 10 o'clock at night, we'll be engaged in this journey. And that's like open ocean, I think. It's a little bit more, you really see where the weak spots in the sails are and where the leaky bits of the hull are. But we're together in this challenging environment. The holidays, though, they're my favorite. Because no matter how difficult formal practice can get, no matter how difficult the structure, duration, complexity of form in the Zendo gets, it's always kind of consistent. You kind of know what you're in for, the range that you can expect. At least from the external form. Of course, internally, there is no knowing. But all year, it seems, this practice, this investigation, this stretching, this expansion, this review and contemplation, for me at least, it all leads up to this, 2 weeks, 3 weeks in December. Where we enter into the intensive environment in every way, I think. We step outside of our regular schedule, our regular diet, our regular sleeping pattern, our regular levels of intoxicants, and we enter into old, well-worn paths of relationship with other human beings that we try to see as little as possible. And that's just me. And it's wonderful. And we can be stretched in new ways. We can be challenged in new ways. And sometimes, if we're lucky, we can find new ways to find harmonious relationship where there wasn't any before. And that's wonderful. A lot of people talk about New Year's resolutions. And some people say, what a crazy time to start something new in the middle of the winter. But when I look at it in terms of intensive practice, I think that the period after our December holiday, however you celebrate it, it's a great opportunity for us to reflect on the year that has passed. To frankly investigate how we've lived our lives, how we've manifested our relationships over the past year. To consider how we might go about doing things a little bit differently in the year ahead. Also, to consider the things that we feel we did pretty good on, that we might like to be more consistent with, that we might like to continue or deepen our investigation of over the next year. And that's what I like to look at this time of New Year as an opportunity to set forth our intention, our attitude for the year. Having reflected on what has been in the past, we strike in a direction for the upcoming year. Of course, we can only walk in this moment. We can only take action in our lives in this very moment that's unfolding before us. And so here we are. I think this is a great way to start the year. My hope is that each of us will find the strength and the courage and the skill to move forward with awareness, with wisdom, and with compassion in this upcoming year. Thank you all for coming. Thanks for listening to the Living Zen podcast. If you follow Living Zen through iTunes, I would very much appreciate it if you would take a moment to let me know what you think about it by rating or reviewing the podcast, so that new listeners can also hear what you have to say. Thank you for your time and for your support.